and continue on with Call of Cthulhu. Um, Last time where we finished, we got into the art gallery, and we had this the creature, I think it's called the Shambler, started to attack us. Now, I think that last bit you may have missed because I think my stream cut off for some reason then. It still said I was recording, but um, it didn't really record all the way up to that bit. But long story short, I got up to that gallery there. The big monster came out of the picture or whatever, and I spent a few minutes in there cowering, and I had to kind of escape, but I got caught. It eventually ate me or teared me to shreds. So uh, we will continue on. Um, I think it's from that bit. Um, so we'll switch over now. Just load it up. Now I don't know how far back it's going to start me from. Um, like I said, I did get caught out and killed. It was a bit intense as well. It was probably the most intense part of the game so far. Oh, here we go. So I'll let this cutscene play through, because you probably would have missed it from last playthrough. It's like a haunted version of Mario 64, but kind of the other way around. So what I'll do today is play about an hour of this. I'll stop the stream and then start one up again and continue on with Minecraft for a bit more. Another, just to calm me down and relax after this playthrough, I guess.
What the hell was that?
So, remember we had these closets we could hide in? Nope, not that one. This one.
I can't even touch it.
Now he's lurking somewhere around the place. I can't remember if he has a certain path or he stays in one spot. Oh no, there he is. Creepy thing. So I think he needs to go in that other room, which he has done.
No way out.
Oh, been spotted.
Must get rid of it. Damn. Did it hear that?
It sure did. There he is. So, last time I played this, it was a bit darker at night here, so things were a little more intense. think he's going to come back. I'm just going to turn the brightness up because this light is it's really making things a bit difficult to see, and if I turn off this light, there we go. If I turn off this light, you can hardly see my face. I guess that's a bonus for you guys, but I wouldn't want to look at my ugly face all day either. So, what do I have to do? Examine the Shambler, sand is resonant. Key to the gallery is probably in the office. So, I think I'll have to look for the key. Must see it. The key to the gallery is probably in the office. Oh, maybe it's not a literal key. Some refill on our oil. Don't want to smash another glass. Uh-oh. Hope he's gone. Let's keep hanging. Keeps on hanging around there. Like I said, I don't really know his exact path around the gallery. Looks like he kind of goes invisible as well. And I don't know if he just senses you and goes straight to you, or if it's a line of sight kind of thing, but seems to be knowing. He seems to know where I am pretty much almost instantly once I gain sight of him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's chasing me. It's kind of slow as well. I didn't really let's break off his glasses because I don't know if there's an object in there. I didn't really run around last time. I just, as soon as he saw me, I just hid in the closet straight away. So, but it looks like he doesn't run too fast at all. So I could probably, outrun him and run around in circles.
That thing came out of this painting. There has to be a link. Maybe if I destroy it.
So, saying I have to destroy it. So, I guess maybe light it on fire. a light.
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Better run, better run, better run. I think he may get me. Maybe I'll look for that dagger as well. That's it. Move along. Nothing to see here. Ah, got it. So, I'm going to use this tentacle looking knife.
Damn it! This dagger didn't work.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, run. So if the dagger didn't work, maybe I have to go for a different dagger? Just wait one sec, guys. Alright. Oops, sorry about that. I haven't really got a screen, a second screen, and I can't really figure out how an in-game overlay works yet, so I haven't got, if someone sends me a message or something, I can't really see it on my screen, but I just had to find my phone, so... So I think, maybe I didn't pick up the right dagger before? Clues, clues. So it's got two tentacles, all these spikes and gouges. Oh, so what I'm holding in my hand right now definitely won't get the job done. No worries. Not that one, it's not that one. I need that one. Oh, I think I saw it on that table back there. It's got a singular tentacle blade. So what did I say? No, that's got about three. Ah, this looks like the one.
This might be able to lift the curse on the painting.
Oh, let's run now. Run now, run now, run now, run now. Looks like it's done the trick. Interesting. I'm also now turning into a painting.
What's the matter with you?
"'Twas all a dream."
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Say that. Oh, I don't know if that will affect my. Hmm. Let's just say it was
Sanders
cursed.
was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
Oh, let's say you knew
You
about the
knew.
monster.
You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was
I
him who
do
sold
like
it to
this dagger.
Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
And I guess we had chat options. I was about to say all that could have been done in a cutscene, but I guess you could have cutscenes with chat options, but I guess it's not this game's style. The Shambler turned out to be much more than an artwork painted by Sarah Hawkins, as a huge creature came out of the painting to attack Pierce. After a hard fight, the detective managed to send it back into the painting. He later discovered the dagger he used to repel the creature had been sold to Sanders by a man named Algernon Drake, owner of the nameless bookstore. Pierce decided to pay the library a visit. So we're going from a gallery to a library. All the cultural offerings this lovely island has to offer.
Where's the bookseller? An old diary.
So this diary, Diary of the Pastor's Wife, Volume 4. The pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to the voice in his head because it holds the truth. Very sane way of thinking, if you don't mind me saying.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams.
Interpret-
It's the work that
Interpretation of
laid the
dreams.
foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
This practical work, written by Sigmund Freud for psychologists, describes the techniques of an analytical interpretation of dreams. The analysis must follow several rules, especially that of free association, a principle announced by Freud at the end of the 19th century. It treats dreams as a way of revealing buried desires. I cannot believe that this theory is applicable to my nightmares. You never know. Never know what this guy might be into. Dark water history. Puritan colony led by Reverend John Wickwood settled on the island during the 17th century. Might be a little bit of a typo there. The name They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of the peculiar color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century. Let's continue on. Yep, here's another one. Handbook on Anatomy and Dissection, precise and illustrated with much detail. As the first volume, this book focuses on healing surgeries specific to malformations and motor disorders. Looks like a few more books.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
These Tibetan writings are the origin of the esoteric movement founded by Helena Blavatsky at the end of the 19th century. The creator of the Theosophy would have drawn extensively on the texts of this work, but no one has ever been able to consult them. I thought they didn't exist. This book, discovered in the nameless bookstore in Darkwater, could be as much fake as an irrefutable proof of Blavatsky's sincerity. Breviary of Medicine. Even a few years back, it was possible for a single practitioner to know all the medical knowledge of his time. This book, which concludes the series, shows that this is now virtually impossible, and about 10 renowned doctors took part in putting together this collection. So I've got a few points in our medical trait. So study alchemy. Some Leonardo da Vinci-esque drawings and paintings. The least that can be said about this book is that this title is well conceived. The illustrations of human anatomy and dissection methods presented are illustrated in great detail. You have to have a strong heart of the detachment proper to the doctors to consult its pages. Again, another point in our medical trait. Let's put away this. Looks like there's a little gap in here. I can't seem to interact with this safe. Suppose you have to use that crowbar for something, but maybe I've missed something out here.
What happened here?
Oh, here we go.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from?
Here?
Blood. Seems like amateur work.
So, they've broken in. I was a burglar. Where would it go?
Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
No, we wouldn't go this way. We want to go where all the goods are.
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What killed all these animals? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the... Charles Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
Yummy twisties.
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
Is that
I'd
it?
put
No.
in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here.
Oh, sorry, I accidentally skipped that last part, but we will soon find out.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Okay, a page seems to be hidden here. It is possible to read. If somebody finds these memoirs, there will be no doubt that I'm in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this plane of reality, in order that they be recovered and burned. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother if she is still of this world. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination are to be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, as I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say a genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask they deliver its content into the safekeeping of my friend and colleague Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. The content of the safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this presents and that you will act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you nor to suffer from your actions. How polite. Okay, so it's on 3 cylinders.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Drugs. You gotta have drugs.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
This key that bears the elder sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch, whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones, were engraved at its center. Everything points it to be Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last Hawkins trip to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it. So, I'm guessing that's what we look for. So we have alchemy. It says to open the safe, but yeah, I think we gotta find those. A clue. I'll just go back to. Let's just do this first. So I got 4 points. So I think psychology. And investigation. Let's go to our hidden spot. Dark water, inhabitants, places, cult, the painting, the dagger, clues. It's just everything we picked up in our last one. So that's a price there. I thought it was um, gave us a number for the safe, but apparently not. So if anyone sees a clue, give a shout out. Kind of feels like like the old Where's Wally or Where's Waldo, depending on your preference of residence. Um, the old Where's Waldo kind of not the book obviously, but
Arkham editions.
the
Never heard of him.
the show itself.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Opera in 8 acts.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Book of Spells. I'm just going to skim through these books.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
I think that was the same
How many volumes are there in this
same
collection?
book as the first one we picked up.
Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him.
Okay. Oh,
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
so cylinders. I think that's what we were looking for. When they mentioned cylinders, I wasn't. Well, I didn't know they were talking about the phonograph or the recording.
Things are not looking good.
Cylinders.
A kind of chalice.
It's the Holy Grail. Gonna drink from it and waste away. I have chosen poorly. I'll read this one. In the 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak for the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the waters surrounding Darkwater. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because up until then the region was favoured refuge for cetaceans. Cetaceans? That I remember the name of that word, but can't remember of the pronunciation. I know crustaceans, so it sounds pretty much similar. In 1847, after months of pursuit, Scylla returns to port with gigantic creature on board. Its crew asserts that the sea monster had eaten all the disappeared whales. After a night of ferocious combat, the survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship. I really want to see this beast. So let's go Drake Cylinder 1. Listen.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
I thought he would have. I'll play it again. I thought
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed.
he would have mentioned a number.
Divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Unless the cup was the Grail. You mentioned Grail then. So, why can't I play the second cylinder? Ah, there we go.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows.
So I think I'm
We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
sensing a pattern
Dear
here.
friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never
So
tire
9
of browsing through them.
might be the last number. So you mentioned the
Chalice
Grail.
of Knowledge.
Is there a number on this? Yeah, he mentions the rubies in the. Maybe it's the count. So let's try this. 1. Wait, does it make mention? Yes, sapphires. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 sapphires. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 rubies. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, sorry, I forgot to so this one here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10, 5, and 9. Maybe I should be writing this down. Uh, 10 emeralds. 5 rubies. 5 rubies. 5 rubes. I said 9 sapphires, didn't I? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It did say 9. Sorry, 9 sapphires. Okay. So I think that's all we could get from this cup.
The queen has little protection.
So that's the queen right in the middle there.
The queen has little protection.
That's all he says. So, how many? 4, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8.
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about it. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
Something
Drake talked about a particular volume.
volume 9. But there's only 8 books here? 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
So these are the volumes. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake... What did Drake say about this collection?
He just keeps going on and on. So maybe there's a missing volume.
The queen has little protection.
Oil. So let's try and go back to our change lock. Rotate S and W. Huh. I think maybe white pieces on the board 4. 4. Well, it doesn't go up to 10 for the cup. Oh, wrong. Oh no. Change lock is A. So 5 rubies? I don't think so. Um, 9 sapphires? No. I mean, there was only... So, let's see what we have missed.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
That's another volume up there that we can't access. Ooh. Would you read the book? Let's read the book.
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
This collection catalogues and classifies creatures that are never heard of, divinities from the stars, creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as the reference work on the bestiary of the myth, without giving details on the mythology to which it refers. Its pages are covered with phantasmagorical illustrations. Sorry, it's not every day you hear that word, and ooh, maybe I shouldn't have read it.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
So, yeah, there's nothing really there to, besides the number of gems that are in there. Rubies and sapphires. Rubies and sapphires. So there was, makes no mention of the emeralds. It's just sapphires. And the rubies. So there was 9 sapphires, 5 rubies, don't know if the cracks in the glass, I think there's only one crack, this one here. Don't think that has anything to do with it. Maybe we group them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
So I think that's a clue at the
These
start
red
there.
drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
So I think it's the rubies that we do have to go off.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers.
The Queen has
I see
little
our number
protection.
dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows.
So it can either be 4 white pieces all up or 3. Let's try that. It always sounds like it opens and then...
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
9, so it makes a message of 9.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Unless you're supposed to open that up separately. 5, 4. Pretty sure I had that combination in before. So it must be 3. So there was 4 pieces on the board, but it was referring to the 3 that were looking out onto the to the queen that was about to be taken. So, in the nameless bookstore, Pierce traced the trail of an attempted burglary. He discovered that Charles Hawkins was behind the attempt. Pierce opened the bookseller's safe to find what the latter and Sarah Hawkins had hidden there. A book covered in human skin lied inside, irresistibly attracted the detective. When he opened it, his mind was projected into another body. But whose body? We will soon find out. Give us 1 second, guys. Yep, sorry about that. So, here we go.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
So we're in the body of Dr. Colden.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Let's examine the patient.
Very well. I'll examine him. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin. Tender at the touch. Slightly sticky.
I'm slightly parched myself.
Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body. 30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Let's go with the most exciting one.
If you examine his abdomen, it would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema
Might
would
be
go
like
away by
Alien.
itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth.
He's
I see
severely
signs of
dehydrated.
hypodermic crisis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes, like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
He's turning into a fish.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes, they can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
More, he's turning into a squid.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean?
I should call him
Don't tell
Squid
me you
Boy.
believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this
want to look
transformation
at the body more, but
is killing him.
keeps
His
looking
body
up.
simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Has anyone
Let us
watched the
calm down, my dear
Lovecraft
Marie. I don't
TV series?
appreciate your tone
I really want to get
or
into it,
your
but
insinuations. I've done to
I don't
him
really
what
want
I
to
do to all my patients.
spend the
Provide
money
him
yet.
with the best available care.
Your imagination
If
is
it's anything
without
like
limit.
American
It's
Horror
a
Story, then
homemade drug again,
with
is it
obviously
not?
the
Those
Lovecraft
people are not your guinea
um,
pigs.
There.
mythology, then
What have you seen
that's
to
all I
put you
need.
in such a state?
These are alarming symptoms. If we don't act, he'll die.
Do you believe that? I'm not as convinced, you see. I even think this man has a strong chance of completely healing from his ailments.
No, Doctor. This patient isn't himself anymore. He's dying.
Really? What do you mean by isn't himself?
He's changing. His physical characteristics, they are more animal than human now.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does.
Cephalopod is
I
a
know
squid
you're
for
first
those
convinced,
guys,
Doctor.
not
It's your
a
innocent worries for this man that have you
familiar with
overreacting.
For this
the
man
technical
and the others whose
scientific
medical
term.
files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
We'll see about that.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Say hidden files
that
of proof.
evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of
Not
course,
if we go
Doctor.
in all
You can count on
sneaky
me,
beaky
Doctor.
like. Yep. Game is saved. New objective. Get into Fuller's office.
Chronic insomnia. like half the island.
Doctor,
Explains all the pills.
please. My chest. Oh.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands.
Exactly my thoughts.
He broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
Ah, the whaling station. What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Ah, doctor, that you?
Yes, it's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
What
Did you
happened
see
there?
Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell
So we've got about
straight
another
through.
5
And that's where
minutes
you broke
of
your
this
back.
stream
Perhaps.
till we
No idea.
call it a night.
Passed out.
It is New Year's Eve here, so
I'll just
I'm not going to
sleep
be
a bit
playing
more.
all hours of the night. I'm
Why
sure
did
for
nobody
those
tell me about her admission?
in the same similar time zone, I'm sure you don't want to
Mrs.
be here all
Sanders?
night too.
She recently came back from the surgical block. She's stable. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney.
Sounds like witchcraft to me.
Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination. He bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling.
Ah, his hand.
His binds left bloody wounds.
So, Doctor, what should we do with this patient?
You did good work. The tranquilizer is kicked in. Now you can disinfect and bandage his wounds.
Thank you, Doctor. And as to his weight loss?
I'll prescribe an antifungal treatment for his dysgeusia. In the meantime, feed him intravenously.
It'll be done.
So it looks like the game